you're ready for another Wunda chair workout. This time we're going to be working our upper body. So before we get started, just make sure to check in with those shoulders, rolling them back and down, opening up your chest, and always do things in your comfort zone. I'm going to tell you what springs we're on, but by all means feel free to modify. If you need a little extra support or a little less resistance, go up or down as needed. And then I hope you're ready to get started. So we are going to start on a high-low spring. We are going to be standing in front of our chair, about our foot's distance away from the edge. Traditionally in a Pilates V, if that's okay for your body. You're going to inhale those arms up towards the ceiling, dive your head, curling yourself forward, bring your hands down onto the chair, keep those shoulders down your back again, and then you're pushing the paddle all the way down towards the floor, curling yourself all the way back on up. And again, make sure that you're pressing with your core. You're not pressing to get those shoulders up by your ears. Use that breath, squeezing all the way down, inhaling to restack. Keep those shoulders nice and long. One last one like this. Nice, coming all the way on up. Cool, now we're going to come around to the side of our chair. We're going to be in about a Pilates V, if that's okay for you again. Middle toe to baby toe towards the corner of the chair. Every chair is different though, so find your sweet spot. You're going to inhale those arms up towards the ceiling again. You're going to bring your hand closest to the paddle onto the chair, or onto the paddle of the chair. Your other arm's going to scoop up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to push the paddle down with that one arm. And then coming all the way back on down again. Nice strong abs, connecting through those arms. We're going to do one last one, pressing with that spine and lifting with those abs. Okay, so then we're going to turn around and do the other sides. And sorry to save you from moving my chair around 92 times. You get to see from an awkward angle. You're going to inhale those arms up towards the ceiling again. Dive your head, bring the hand down, other arm up towards the ceiling. Keep those hips nice and square. Pushing the paddle down. Exhaling to come back on up. We're doing 5 here. Again, lifting with your spine. Pushing with your arms and your spine. We got one last one. All the way down. And all the way back on up. Nice. Okay, so from here, we are going to come around onto the back of our chair, or onto the top of our chair, I should say. Hands will be on the paddle. We're going to do our swans. So, everyone's got their spot that feels best for them in their swans. I like having kind of just the tops of my hip bones just off of the top of the chair, but some people like to be further back or further forward. Find your spot. Legs traditionally would be squeezing together, rolling those shoulder blades back, and so having a little squeeze of your abs, not so much that you can't back bend, but enough to support your back. And then when you're ready, you're going to keep squeezing that inner thigh, those hips down, and then pushing yourself on up, and then carefully placing yourself back down into that long plank. And then again, inhaling as you press on down. Nice. Really see if you could pull that paddle back until those springs come to a close. But listen to your body here. We're going to do one last one after this one. Just put moisturizer on my hands. Wasn't the best idea. Nice, and then we're going to come down into our plank. Abs nice and engaged, and we're going to do 8 push-ups here. So bending and extending. Ultimate goal is that you get the paddle and the springs closed every single time. No need to rush with these. We've got time. You've got time. If not, we'll make the time. We got 2 more. And last one. Nice. So you're going to carefully slide yourself on off the back of your chair, and then we're going to go straight into our twist on hip on these springs. So One hip's going to be down on the paddle. Both hands are going to come down. Your bottom leg is going to be pointed forward. Your top leg is going to be pointed back. But make sure like your pelvis and your pubic bone are still pointed back behind you. You don't want to be too far forward or too far back. Your spine is in a fairly straight line, even though it's twisted. So find that sweet spot again. You may need to be a little more over top of the paddle than you were before. And then from here, we're squeezing to come back on up. And then back on down. We're doing 5. Nice. It's okay if one arm needs to be a little bent. It's just where you don't have quite as much twist as you will do one day. We're going to do one last one here. Squeezing up, coming back down, and then 5 push-ups. Bending and pushing. And 5. And then you're going to come all the way on up. You're going to turn around and do the other side. I'm just going to turn the chair around. And then I can actually talk to you guys. So other hips on the box. Hands again on the paddle. Bottom leg forward, top leg back. Your pubic bone is facing the back of the room. Okay. And then when you're ready, we're getting into that swan position. And you're going to exhale to swan up. Inhale to press the paddle down. Try to keep those legs in the same position. Don't mind my weird looking ponytail. Got this last one here. Okay, so then in that plank position, 5 push-ups. Breathe deep. Nice, and then we're coming all the way on up. Awesome. So from here, we've done lots of kind of pushing up, so now we've got to do some tricep dips. We are going to come around to the front of our chair. Our hands are going to be wrapped around the front of the chair. Our legs are going to be nice and straight. Ideally, you're on something that, a floor that can move. If not, feet can be planted. I'll show you both ways. But fullest expression here. We're going to bring our hips down onto the paddle. Feet are going to be nice and flexed, and they're going to slide out on the floor as we lower. Exhale, lift up. If your feet don't slide, or if it's too hard, place your feet down on the floor. Lower and press. Use as little as leg as possible. Breathing deep. We got 2 more. And last one here. Coming all the way up. Nice. Step one foot in, step the other foot in. And then we're going to do that in our big plie. So when we're in a big plie, it's basically like our Pilates V, but bigger, as big as we can make it. So toes are going to be nice and apart, heels will be together, and knees will be super, super wide. We're going to still have our hands in the same position. So get those feet on that paddle, on the balls of your feet, heels together, toes apart, roll those shoulder blades back, get those hands set up. Try to keep maybe a fist or 2 fist distance in between your heels and your hands at all times, and we are going to do 5 more tricep dips. If this is too hard, go back to the first version where your feet are on the floor and your hands your hips are on the paddle. And then when you're ready, roll those shoulder blades back, dipping down, exhale, press up. Keep those shoulders down your back. Look straight ahead. Nice. We got this last one here. Come all the way up, sit yourself on. Super good. Now we gotta do our plie to the front. So the way I like getting into it is hands will be on the side of the chair, feet will be on that plie, and then lowering and lifting. Some people like starting from the bottom and lifting themselves all the way on up. Your personal choice. Hands will be on the outsides of the chair either way. Feet are going to come on into that nice big plie. Your knees are going to go towards the outsides of the chair. Squeeze those heels together, and you're bending like you do a push-up. Exhale, bring those Arms back nice and straight, shoulders down your back. Inhaling down, exhaling back on up. We got 2 more. And fun fact about this one, this is why the chair actually is shaped the way it is. Why it has that fun little curve in it is actually to make room for your knees to go. Okay, so from here, shake out those wrists if you need to, and we're going into our upside down push-up. So, stepping that paddle all the way down to the floor, you're going to be on the balls of your rear feet in a regular size Pilates V, and we're going to start with our hands about midway or on the sides of the chair. Everybody's body is a little different, so some people prefer it a little closer, some a little further away. Good place to start is in the middle. So when you're ready, you're going to dive your head, go slow, keep your shoulder blades down your back, lift and squeeze those heels in that inner thigh to lift the paddle. Exhale, come back on down. Nice. We're going to do one last one here. Lifting and lowering. It's okay if you didn't get it. Everyone's got to start somewhere. We're going to move our hands a little further away this time. See what feels different. So again, diving your head, a little soft bend in the elbows, shoulders still down your back. Lift those hips and lower. I always find when my hands are further away, it gets me way deeper in my lower abs. One last one. All the way up, all the way back on down. Nice, so then we're going to carefully control the spring up, and we are also going to be doing snake. Okay, so snake, if I'm facing you, my outside foot is going to press the paddle down towards the floor. My hands closest to you are going to go into the sides of the chair, and then my other foot, my inside foot, is going to wrap around the standing foot. These legs, or this leg is not here just for show or just because it would get in the way otherwise. You're squeezing those legs together. So don't feel like it's just hanging out here, doing nothing. It's actively squeezing into the other leg. Your hands are not only pushing down on the chair, they're also pushing it together. And then when you're ready, it's just like your upside down push-up, but now we're going to square our shoulders off towards the back of the room, dive your head, curl your hips on up, and then releasing. We're going to do one last one here, curling up, and all the way back on down, and then you're going to carefully release one foot, controlling the strength on up. Awesome. And then we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to have to leave my chair here, so I'm going to be facing the other way for a moment. I will be back. So outside foot is going to step the paddle down. Your hands are going to be towards the, what would be the front side of the chair if you're looking at it. Your inside foot is going to hook around the front, squeeze it together, sandwich that chair together, square your shoulders off towards the back of the room, soft bend in the elbows, shoulders down the back, and when you're ready, take a great big inhale to prepare, and exhale, dive your head, curl your spine up. One last one. And all the way on down. Nice. And controlling that strength all the way on up. We're going to carefully shake out those hands again. And then we are going to go into star, or a beginner version of star. So, this time our inside foot is going to be pressing the paddle down. Our hands are going to go back in those same positions that they were before. And because it's star, you think like star this way, we're actually going to keep both hands on, but you have two options with your legs. One would be keeping the legs together. The other one would be lifting it up out to the outside. I'd always recommend trying one together. If it feels good, try them apart, but you know your body, you know your practice, and let's get going. We're doing 5, so when you're ready, diving your head a little, you're going to curl yourself on up. And coming back on down. If that felt good, leg out to the outside. One last one. Nice, you're going to carefully control that paddle down, step your foot back, control the paddle all the way on up. And then we got to go to the other side. So I'm going to turn my chair around. So I'm facing you for this one. Inside foot, paddle comes down, hands come on, make sure they're set up exactly the way you want it to before you get the other foot on. Outside of the leg, they're either squeezing together or it's going to come out to the outside. Again, whatever you did on one side, try to do it on the other side. And when you're ready, you keep those shoulders over top of those wrists, dive your head, curling up, and back on down. Make whatever adjustments you need to make with your foot. And last one there. Nice, stepping the foot down, controlling it on up. Always get quiet with those ones. I have to focus myself too. Okay, and then we're gonna go down to just a high spring. So take off the low spring. And then we're gonna do our rollbacks. Fullest expression of these will be done in a teaser, so if that's in your practice, by all means do it. If not, we're gonna do the modified version just for today's sake. You're gonna end up bringing both hands onto the paddle, go slow. There's no need to rush. You may just go sliding off the back of the chair. Your legs are gonna be out in front of you. And then all we're doing is curling ourselves back, press through those arms, press through those shoulders, and then curling yourself back on up. And then again, curl yourself on back, lead with your abs, lead with that belly button coming back to your spine, and all the way back on up. We're going to do 2 more like this, curling back, and exhaling up. Last one. And then we're going to add in some tricep presses to this. So curl yourself on back to a point where you feel comfortable. Bend at the elbows, press. Try to really get to that full straight arm. Feel how your abs have to engage as the support kind of goes away as you bend your arms. One last one. And then we're going to come all the way on up. Shake out those hands again. And then we are going to be going into our push-ups. So for push-ups, I'm going to turn my chair to face you. Still on these springs, but if you need a little extra support, you can either go onto a low or maybe a middle low. And yeah, see how you go. If you want it harder, take that high spring down a notch. Okay, and we'll start that. So we're going to start with push-up high. One hand's going to be on the top of the chair, the other hand's going to be on the paddle. You're going to step one foot back, the other foot back. Traditionally side by side, if not hip distance apart for a little extra stability. Get yourself into that plank as you bend the top elbow, you lower, exhale to press. And we're doing 5s. Really try to keep yourself in as long of a line as possible. The biggest cheat is to bend at the hips. The last one there. Nice, carefully step yourself on in, and then we're going to do the other side. Again, top hand on exactly where you want it. The bottom hand comes on too. Then you step your feet back into whatever position you like. And then when you're ready, lower, exhale, lift. Just 5s here. If you're following along with me, I'm on 3, 4, last one, and 5. Nice, and then we're gonna do our push-ups low. So, we're gonna come on down onto the floor, but before we do, bring the paddle down first. Set your other hand up, that shoulder distance apart. step one foot back, then the other. If holding plank feels like too much, come down onto your knees. Same amount of work. And then when you're ready, you're gonna let that elbow bend, exhale, push. Again, we're just doing 5s. Once you've done your 5th one, you're gonna step one foot in, the other foot in, carefully control the spring up. It's always in the transitions of these guys where accidents happen. It's never actually in the movement. So again, other side, bring that paddle all the way down to the floor, other hand comes out, step one foot back, the other foot back, and start your 5. Inhaling to bring it up, exhale, push it down. Holding that plank, or if you need to, knees down. Once you've done your 5th one there, step one foot in, the other foot in, control that paddle all the way on up. Nice. Now, push my chair around sideways, and we are going to do all of our side bends to finish, because it's just such a nice way to kind of finish up this guy. You're going to bring one foot out wide to the outside, really reach through that heel, make sure your hips are square. There's always that tendency to kind of sit back and be diagonal. And then you're going to bring the other arm up towards the ceiling, but make sure the shoulder blade stays down your back, side bending over to press into the paddle. Exhale, use those side sit-up abs to come back on up. And then again, inhaling and exhaling. We're going to do this last one here, all the way on up, and then we're going to turn around and do our other side. So, that foot's coming out wide to the outside, arms up towards the ceiling. Make sure those hips are nice and square, those abs are nice and lifted, and then you're inhaling up to go over, exhaling to squeeze those abs to pull yourself back on up. Keeping those shoulders down and engaged. And keeping that heel down on the floor. One last one. Nice. Then you can have a seat on your chair for a moment. And then we're just going to roll out our wrists. So just give them a nice couple of circles. Maybe some ups and downs, maybe some like stars. I always like this guy, intertwining your fingers and just rolling them just gently. It's one thing with the chair is sometimes they can feel a little risky. And then once you shake those hands on out, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day and I really enjoy this one. I know I was looking forward to it. I kept having to put it off because of all the renovations going on, but it's finally here, it's finally done, and my arms feel so much better because of it. So I hope you guys feel as great about it as I do. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, all those great things that you can do so then you don't miss out on any more awesome workouts and get to be a part of this super cool community that we're slowly building up. Okay, so have a great day, have a great week, have a great month. Who knows how long this is gonna be, or maybe, you know what, this is later on in life, in which case, welcome. And yeah, I hope to see you all very, very soon. Lots of love.